Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Jean Bertoncini, class of 1959, as the 2017 recipient of the Father Arthur Harvey Award.
I guess I don't have to tell anybody here how amazingly, profoundly effective having studied at this university can be on one's life and in establishing and supporting one's values in the world we live in today. You may wonder that I got a degree in architecture here and now I'm a guitarist. I think one of the best ways of becoming a great guitarist is studying architecture. Because I think there are many ways in which architecture and music kind of coincide. The words harmony, balance, and the kind of creativity. Did I say something bad?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. I'll try to keep it that way. Anyway, there's so many ways in which the arts cross each other, and one of the ways I think that architecture helped me in the idea of preparing something for a client, and also you're exposed to many ways of life. One day, for my first design project was a kindergarten, and then we had to design a school, and we had to think about people's needs and how we affect their lives by the architecture, but also music too. I think about music and how it affects people, how it enhances their life, and if I tell my kind of musical truth, I think it will connect with the souls of people and their lives as well. So I'm trying to do that, and I have one short little episode that I was being interviewed one day with a wonderful bass player on television, and the interviewer asked, Gene, how come you switched from architecture to music? And Mike Moore, the bass player, said, because the bridge collapsed. And in a way, I really discovered that architecture was not my gift. It took a little while. I had a job with a protege of Frank Lloyd Wright for a while that lasted for 8 days. I was playing a job in Vermont, and I made a mistake. I was playing a musical job, and I made a mistake, and I got so annoyed with the fact that at this time I was working for the architect. I said, now, I have to practice. So I went to the architect and quit that job that day and went back to practicing the guitar, because I realized that the gift I'd been given from God was music. And so much of what a gift is simply the desire to work at something. That's such a great gift. I really wanted to learn the guitar, and I really wanted to practice it. And I didn't care that much about learning about architecture. I appreciated the architecture, and I think architecture's a great influence on people's lives. The architecture we live in, and I will always be in great admiration of the architects in our world and how they contribute to our lives and our well-being. And anyway, I recognized that my gift was from music, and so I went back to practicing the music, and here I am. Thankful that I've been so thankful that I've been given this award. I thank my friend Ed Pisty for putting this whole thing in motion for me. We shared the dance band together. We played for all the victory dances at school here, and I thought maybe instead of talking much more, I have one other short story, but so I was standing outside St. Peter's Church in New York, which is the jazz church. lot of jazz performance, and I was speaking to a young lady outside the church, which sometimes I do. And a friend of mine came, I was trying to tell her what I did. A friend of mine came up and I said, Bobby, would you tell this lady what I do for a living? And he said, well, that's Gene Bertoncini. He's a great jazz guitarist. What he does for a living, I have no idea. Anyway, I was here on campus when Father Harvey put on a play called Finian's Rainbow, and I had the opportunity to play in the pit for that show, and I think my friend Stu McKeever tried out for that part. He was my first drummer, and Phil Donahue got the part instead. Who knew? And my other drummer, Paul Willingans, tried out for what part? The Death of a Salesman? Father Harvey? And you were a Harvey's reject as well. Great people, great. And Washington Hall was such a great place to go and listen. I listened to Andre Segovia there. And so anyway, I thought maybe I'd play a little something for you. One thing I'm definitely going to do is I'm going to head out to San Diego and try to get a job at Chuck's Club. Is that okay? I think there's so few venues in this world for our form of art, and so few. And there are a lot of venues that are cluttered with booze, should I say, and loud noises and people that really don't appreciate. But I think he represents a guy that's making it possible for dedicated musicians to present their truth, as it was said. And I'll be out there. Watch out. This is a song. It's a kind of pretty little song. I hope you don't mind something pretty. It was from the show Finian's Rainbow. It's called How Are Things in Glockamora, which is, Glockamora is this like a fictitious place. Could be Ireland, could be Scotland. And when I think about the architecture studies and to prepare something for an audience, sometimes as an architect, you work on a concept to present to a client, and you're influenced by the landscape or the site or the needs of the people. And when I'm thinking about, I think it's gotten into my music too, when I'm working out a concept for a tune, make it a little special to really think about what's going on in the tune. And the first lyric of this tune is, I hear a bird, a legendary bird, and it goes on from there. And I have to tune down to a low G. Is that okay with you? Wow. I hear a bird.